Hello guys, and welcome back to my XRP Coin News channel. This relates to financial institutions and the return of the gold standard, which I believe will also be reflected in our currency. So, what exactly is Basel III? Exactly how does this have any bearing on the cost of gold? Banks will eventually need physical gold to support the money that is sitting in the bank since the manipulation of the gold market through paper gold is coming to an end. The program will launch in the new year. Banking restrictions known as the Basel Accords were developed in reaction to the 2007-2009 financial crisis. Among the topics they address are the recently implemented ones of discipline, disclosure, and reserves. Gold figures prominently in one part of these prerequisites. Banks are worried about Basel III. They have no gold to back their fake currency. There is currently something called a paper note that looks like it is backed by gold but isn't. Similar to standard paper, not unlike the depreciating value of the US dollar. Mortgage and automobile payments are made using money that is not backed by anything. Promises that have now shown to be empty. The banks engaged in similar behavior, but that behavior is finally coming to a stop. To counter the rigged London bullion market, Russia suggests a new benchmark. Russia, I fear, is already taking sides. Likewise, this is true for China and other countries. To put it bluntly, Russia and a number of other countries are plotting to remove the dollar, euro, and pound from the system of international settlements, initially in the realm of precious metals but perhaps not exclusively so. The majority of the world's gold is produced in these countries. To begin, the ruble value of gold has been set by Russia at $5,000 or $2,447 per troy ounce. When compared to the going LBM, a repair of $737, this is quite a bit cheaper. It appears that LBM ability to manipulate paper gold markets to lower gold prices is coming to an end. I can now say that I see a positive shift in the world's direction. Some would argue that a currency is more trustworthy if it is backed by a physical asset. It will not be a fiat currency that can be easily withdrawn, since the US currency has nothing supporting it at the moment. I believe all these countries are conspiring to bring it down. The US government was tempted to spend more than it had in gold reserves since 1971. However, the dollar could not be converted into gold. The same thing happened in the paper gold market, except the banks ran out. Naked shorts are used to artificially depress the price of gold by issuing more certificates than there is underlying actual gold. Banking institutions are now required by Basel III to keep allocated gold instead of paper gold due to gold's promotion to Tier 1 status. However, this also applies to currencies. If we don't have something to trade for our newly printed bills, we can't issue any more. The market demand is zero. Starting in January of 2023, these regulations will apply to financial institutions in the United States. This effectively removes JP Morgan and others' ability to influence the gold market. This is going to be a wonderful day. At last, gold's full value will be revealed. A similar result, digital gold, will be achieved in the long run, in which XRP replaces USD as the benchmark. In the third quarter of 2022, central banks will fill the void in the gold market by buying the metal. For the entire year, they hid away nearly 400 metric tons of gold. In 1967, when the US dollar was still partially backed by gold, gold purchases were far greater than they are now. Additionally, you can see that banks and countries are buying it up rapidly at the present time. That's how we're re-establishing the old benchmarks. In my opinion, it will all begin in 2019. Alex Moon Money Gold Standard Moon. The Gold Standard Restoration Act was the subject of my speech in the House of Representatives today. With my legislation, the United States would once again be on the gold standard, saved from Washington's wasteful spending and the printing of new currency out of thin air. Certain lawmakers are finally beginning to grasp this concept. It has never been more crucial than it is now. In fact, most politicians would rather not even broach the subject. They plan to keep spending as much as they can afford to. Consider the sums that were sent to the Ukraine. then rerouted through EFT and back to the Democratic Party. That era of history is coming to an end. That is exactly what we mean when we use the gold standard as our reference point. The new development bank of the Brics now includes Egypt. To lessen their reliance on the US dollar and the euro, some Brics governments have already begun doing commerce in their domestic currencies. Sooner or later, I think we'll see the euro, the pound, and the dollar all fixed to the dollar. When that happens, CBDCs will be distributed as rapidly as possible, unless the US dollar drops much below $1. I'm talking about a rate of 80 cents to the US dollar, which is very possible if these nations decide to stop trading in dollars. They saw us use it as a weapon against Russia and vowed never to let that happen in their country. Quick, while we still can, let's leave this place. After Nixon removed the United States from the gold standard, paper currency lost its value. It evolved into a debt-based currency. They said they took this action because they wanted to decrease inflation. But everyone knows better. If a nation creates its own currency, then how can it be in debt? What's more, the thing is that, as a country, we spend excessive amounts of money. To make sure that everyone is taken care of, we also waste money on such frivolous pursuits. Politicians play a role in that situation. The SACC has become a window into the entire crooked system. All the corruption around PFT has been exposed, and there is plenty more. The problem is that we don't know about it until something bad happens. Both Bitcoin and gold are good investments. You should save your digital assets in XRP. Bitcoin was the exposed experiment with ongoing production and evolution. Invest in digital gold and silver that uses blockchain technology to store your money. Additionally, we can compare XRP to Bitcoin in this example. In sum, Bitcoin is a poor medium of exchange, a slow transaction network, and a costly investment. Medium of exchange, store of value, bridge currency, bank-to-bank transfers, FX settlements, securities, instant cross-border settlements, micropayments, and the Internet of Value sources are all possible applications for XRP. And, in my opinion, any nation or financial institution that adopts Ripple and XRP will also adopt Stellar and XLM. In the forthcoming decentralized financial system, these two digital currencies will coexist. However, XRP improved upon Bitcoin in every way, and it has grown into something much larger than Bitcoin ever dreamed it could be. Including Bitcoin in the new system was never an idea, and it still isn't. You hear how other nations discuss it. Liquidity on demand, on a level playing field thanks to the distributed ledger. If you take a close look at the photo, you can make out Brad Garlinghouse standing next to Christine Lagarde. We also know that the International Monetary Fund is in crisis, but even they are beginning to work with Ripple since eventually every government will need to use that on-demand cash. The moment has come for this to happen. It's for this reason that I make videos in which I aim to help you feel good about the things you have. I'd like you to keep it so you can cash in on the huge windfall of cash that's coming your way. You investigate the information available on XRP and Ripple. It confirms that you made the right choice when selecting a cryptocurrency to invest in. Believe me, I want you to succeed, and that's why I keep repeating myself. This will rapidly alter in Q1 and Q2 of 2023. New liquidity crisis in the financial system caused by bank runs on adoption CBDCs. Be wary of FOMO when rules are put into place. A greater sense of impending loss of connection has never been experienced before and will not be witnessed again for at least the next 5 generations. Right now, I think we're at a turning moment in our life. One of the most momentous events in human history is imminent. A brand new financial system will roll out, a digital financial system. They say you're all for CBDC, but I'm not one of those people. Although I am aware that a CBDC is a slave-free system, I must admit that the underlying technology is quite impressive. Nobody can predict what will happen when they are finally implemented, but at least the current financial system is fixed. Perhaps by the time it happens, privacy regulations will have been enacted. Very soon, we will get our first comprehensive view of a CBDC. Hold on to your XRP, it will be useful in the UK long before it is here. You should get rich while you still can. The fourth industrial revolution is here, and with it comes the possibility to amass wealth that will last for generations. This may make you the first person in your family to ever win $1 million. There's a chance you could go even further. In fact, you can set yourself up for a legacy of riches that will benefit future generations. It's at this point when we find ourselves. Since the price of gold is currently incredibly undervalued, XRP will soon become digital gold at a far better value than where gold is sitting today. XRP is currently priced at a huge discount to its true worth. Browse the remaining ISO currency types. Also, they are underappreciated. What's the harm in waiting it out and seeing what happens if you've been holding this long already? Ignore the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Don't get sidetracked by the drama unfolding on crypto Twitter. It has zero bearing on Ripple. Your investment is completely safe. This doesn't work. What this boils down to, as I've told you before, is your ability to exercise patience. This is a game of patience. Stay patient if you want to make it in crypto. Success is possible. This is also something I've mentioned doing once the cryptocurrency market takes off. Stop and take a few deep breaths. Keep from acting. You shouldn't go out and load up on unnecessary goods. Get carried away with the idea that you've become a billionaire overnight or that you're about to become one. But first, take a deep breath and calculate how much you profited from your crypto investments. Take good, well thought out action. I was wondering if you knew how many people who made $1 million in crypto ended up investing it all back into crypto. Since Twitter completely depleted its financial reserves, the company is starting over from scratch. Try not to turn into him or her. After I've had a chance to catch my breath and enjoy a brief break from work, I intend to return to this site to begin producing videos aimed at encouraging the next wave of crypto investors to see their investments through to fruition. To be alerted immediately whenever a video is published on XRP News, please remember to hit the subscribe and notify buttons. You may see our other XRP history videos. In the meantime, you may catch us in the video below. See you out later. Bye.